Back at it today with another ranking video, as in today's video we're going to be taking a look at every team's ace and ranking them worst to first. This is going to be pretty similar to the hitter video I posted just a few days ago, and if you haven't seen that, check that out. I'll put the link in the description. But with that in mind, let's get right into the rankings. Coming in at number 30, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates' Roansy Contreras. Contreras was pretty solid in his rookie campaign this year, as in 95 innings he had a 3.79 ERA. While he does have a bright future, at this point in his career he is not really an ace. At number 29, I have the Washington Nationals' Mackenzie Gore. Gore in 70 innings this year had a 4.5 ERA to go along with 72 strikeouts. As I'm sure almost all of you know, the Nationals are not a very good baseball team right now, and Gore does have a bright future, but he's not an ace at this point. At number 28, I have the Oakland Athletics' Cole Irvin. Irvin wasn't all that bad this year, as in 181 innings pitched, he had a 3.98 ERA to go along with 128 strikeouts. He could be a solid back end of the rotation starter, but right now he's not really an ace, and it just shows you how bad the A's are at this point. At number 27, I have the Cincinnati Reds' Hunter Greene. Greene pitched in 126 innings this year, in which he had a 4.44 ERA and 164 strikeouts. He has filthy stuff and a lot of potential, but at this point in his career, he's still developing. At number 26, I have the Colorado Rockies' German Marquez. In 182 innings this year, Marquez had a 5 ERA to go along with 150 strikeouts. With those numbers, you might think he should be ranked last on this list, but we have to take into account here that he pitches at Coors Field, so he really isn't all that bad of a pitcher. He's shown potential even at Coors Field, so if he does get out of Colorado, I think he could be a very respectable pitcher. Moving on, at number 25, I have the Baltimore Orioles' John Means. Means didn't pitch very much this year, but in his last full season in 2021, he pitched in 147 innings in which he posted a 3.62 ERA. I think he's clearly the best starting pitcher on the Orioles, and when he comes back and if he is healthy, he's going to be a very solid starter. At number 24, I have the Chicago Cubs' Marcus Stroman. This may seem like a low ranking for a pitcher of Stroman's caliber, but there are just so many good aces across baseball. This year, in 139 innings, Stroman posted a 3.5 ERA, and he's still a very good pitcher at this point in his career, but like I said, there are so many other good aces. At number 23, I have the Boston Red Sox' Nate Eovaldi. Eovaldi did deal with some injuries this past season, as he only pitched in 109 innings, but in those 109 innings, he had a 3.87 ERA. He's not quite an all-star caliber pitcher at this point in his career, but he still is a very good pitcher, and he's a pretty decent ace. Moving on to number 22, I have the St. Louis Cardinals' Jordan Montgomery. The Cardinals were a pretty tough one because they do have a lot of pitchers who could be considered their ace. But I went with Montgomery after seeing him dominate since being traded over from the Yankees. I think he has a lot of potential to be a really good starter for the Cardinals going forward. At number 21, I have the Detroit Tigers' Tarik Skubal. Skubal pitched very well this year, as in 118 innings he had a 3.52 ERA to go along with 117 strikeouts. He has some good strikeout stuff, and if he is healthy and on the field, I think he slightly outedges Eduardo Rodriguez as the ace of the Tigers staff. At number 20, I have the Minnesota Twins' Joe Ryan. Ryan posted an impressive rookie campaign, as in 147 innings he had a 13-8 record to go along with a 3.55 ERA and 151 strikeouts. You could argue that Sonny Gray is their ace, but I think Joe Ryan has more potential, and at this point I would prefer him over Gray. At number 19, I have the Texas Rangers' Martin Perez. Perez bounced back this year and surprised a lot of people, as in 196 innings he posted a 2.89 ERA to go along with 169 strikeouts and a 5.0 WAR. He was easily the best starter on the Rangers this year, and if he pitches like this again, he would be the ace on a lot of staffs across baseball. At number 18, I have the Kansas City Royals' Brady Singer. Singer broke out and was a really underrated pitcher for Kansas City this year, as in 153 innings he posted a 3.23 ERA to go along with 150 strikeouts. He's a pretty solid pitcher, and if he keeps this up going forward, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a couple all-star teams. At number 17, I have the San Diego Padres' Yu Darvish. Darvish in 195 innings this year posted a 3.1 ERA to go along with 197 strikeouts. Over the past couple years, he has dealt with numerous injuries, but he was healthy this year and at his best. Moving on, at number 16, I have the Seattle Mariners' Luis Castillo. Castillo was dominant this year, as in 150 innings he posted a 2.99 ERA to go along with 167 strikeouts. He has filthy stuff and really is capable in my eyes of potentially winning a Cy Young one day. I'm a big fan of Castillo and I have him coming in at number 16. At number 15, I have the San Francisco Giants' Carlos Rodon. Rodon yet again put together a solid season as in 178 innings pitched, he went 14-8 to go along with a 2.88 ERA and 237 strikeouts. Rodon is a former top prospect who it did take a little while to develop, but at this point he's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball and he has some of the best strikeout stuff as well. At number 14, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks' Zach Gallen. Gallen was finally healthy this year and he put together a great year. In 184 innings, he had a 2.54 ERA, 192 strikeouts, and a league-best .91 whip. He's the clear-cut ace of the Diamondback staff, and with the way he pitched this year, I wouldn't be surprised to see him be a National League Cy Young finalist. At number 13, I have the Philadelphia Phillies' Aaron Nola. Nola again was dominant this year as in 205 innings he posted a 3.25 ERA to go along with 235 strikeouts. I gave him the slight edge over Zach Wheeler as the Phillies ace, and he's been dominant this postseason and is a big reason why the Phillies are in the NLCS. At number 12, I have the Atlanta Braves' Max Fried. This was a tough one coming from a pitching staff that also has Spencer Strider and Kyle Wright, but I think Fried is just slightly better. In 185 innings this year, Fried posted a 2.48 ERA to go along with a 5.9 WAR. He's one of the better pitchers in the National League, and I think he's close to being a top 10 pitcher in all of baseball. At number 11, I have the Tampa Bay Rays' Shane McClanahan. About halfway through the season, McClanahan looked like the clear-cut favorite to win the American League Cy Young. But he did falter a little bit down the stretch, but he still posted really good numbers on the year, as in 166 innings he had a 2.54 ERA. McClanahan is still young, and I think he's going to continue to develop and get better and better. Getting into the top 10, at number 10, I have the Cleveland Guardians' Shane Bieber. Some people may think this is a bit high for Bieber, but I'm a big believer in him. This year, in 200 innings pitched, he had a 2.88 ERA to go along with 198 strikeouts. He's been dominant this postseason, and he's one of my favorite pitchers in all of baseball. At number 9, I have the New York Yankees' Garrett Cole. Some people may think this is too low for Cole, but he was pretty inconsistent this year as he had a 3.5 ERA on the season. Cole is still a dominant pitcher, one of the best in baseball at that, and he has some of the best strikeout stuff in all of baseball. At number 8, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers' Julio Urias. This was a really tough one to pick because obviously the Dodgers pitching staff is full of aces. But with how good Urias was this year, I had to give him the slight edge. In 175 innings, he had a National League best 2.16 ERA to go along with 166 strikeouts. At number 7, I have the Toronto Blue Jays' Alek Manoah. This was Manoah's first full season in the big leagues, and he's already one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. In 197 innings, he had a 2.24 ERA to go along with 180 strikeouts and a 5.9 WAR. Manoah was MLB ready the moment he was drafted out of West Virginia, and I think he's going to be one of the best pitchers in baseball for a very long time. At number 6, I have the Los Angeles Angels' Shohei Ohtani. I know I'm definitely going to get some pushback with this one. People are going to think Ohtani shouldn't even be in the top 10. But this year, in 166 innings, he had a 2.33 ERA and a league-best 11.9 strikeouts per 9 innings. We have to remember this guy hits too, so that makes his numbers this year all that more impressive. At number 5, I have the Chicago White Sox' Dylan Cease. Cease put together one of the best second halves I've seen in a very long time, and I could not believe that he did not make the All-Star team. On the year, in 184 innings, Cease had a 2.2 ERA to go along with 227 strikeouts and a 6.4 WAR. If it weren't for Justin Verlander, I think Cease would have most likely won the American League Cy Young Award, and I think he's the clear-cut ace of the White Sox. At number 4, I have the Milwaukee Brewers' Corbin Burnes. This may be another one that some people might think is a little bit too high, but with what Burnes did this year after posting a Cy Young season last year, I'm just wicked impressed with him. In 202 innings this year, he had a 2.94 ERA to go along with a National League best 243 strikeouts. Burnes has filthy stuff, and I think he's the ace of the Brewers and one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. At number 3, I have the Miami Marlins' Sandy Alcantara. From start to finish, I think Alcantara had the best season of any pitcher in baseball. Alcantara paced the league with his 229 innings pitched, where he posted a 2.28 ERA, 207 strikeouts, and an 8.1 WAR. A lot of people had him breaking out in March, and he made those people look really smart as he's most likely going to win the National League Cy Young Award. At number 2, I have the Houston Astros' Justin Verlander. Now, just a minute ago, I said Sandy Alcantara had the best season out of a pitcher from start to finish this year, but I think Verlander had the most impressive by far. Coming off of Tommy John surgery at 39 years of age, Justin Verlander in 175 innings had a league-best 1.75 ERA and a league-best .83 WHIP. As good as Verlander has been throughout his career, I think a lot of people counted him out, including myself. I did not think he was going to be anywhere close to this good. And finally, at number 1, I have the New York Mets' Jacob deGrom. deGrom did have a down year this season for his standards, as in only 64 innings he had a 3.08 ERA. But over the past couple seasons, deGrom has been the best pitcher in baseball, and it hasn't been close. So if deGrom is fully healthy, I think he is easily the best pitcher in baseball today. So there you have my full rankings of every team's ace 1 through 30. Let me know what you guys think down below, anything you agree on or disagree on. As always, I want to thank you guys again so much for watching and continuing to support, and I'll see you next time.